What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 for another video review. This time it's DX15, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow from Hot Toys, and you can pre-order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link on the description. And for those of you who doesn't know what DX means, it's the deluxe version of Hot Toys, not the deluxe kind of like Star-Lord with an extra. Deluxe means back in the day it's a little bit more expensive, nicer box, more accessories, kind of like their top of the line figures, and it shows from this figure. So I'm a big fan of deluxe figures. I wish they would do more. Not talking about, like I said, an extra coat like Spider-Man tech suit or something like that, but you just feel like you get your money's worth, especially for this figure, since as you can see here, the box is different, magnetized. You always get some sort of a replica from the movie. At this time, if you've seen the movie, it's kind of like the book with the ruby on it. You take it out. There's a lot of foam inserts when it comes to DX. I kind of miss DX. My last one was the Mime Joker, and that was the last one that they released. I started collecting at around 2011, I believe. So it's been 7 years now, and I was around those DXs, but I never really bought them. Back then, it's surprisingly it's the same price, because this one is priced nicely at $275, I believe. And that was the price of DX11 6 years ago. So it's holding on its value, and you get nice figures in here. As you can see, there's a few hands. The hands are nicely sculpted. There's a lot of details on them. So you can see there's rings, tattoos, and on the right hand there's an actual fabric. It's not sculpted or anything. It's an actual fabric out there. If it just focuses, there you go. So you can see there. Yeah, but there's really nice detail on this figure. I was excited. I'm not, and full disclosure, I'm not a big fan of the franchise. The only movie I watched was the first one and the last one, which is Dead Man Tells No Tales. And honestly, it's okay. I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy it, but it's something that wouldn't stick to me. I don't know. I've watched the first one too. I was trying to prep myself. If you can see the black stain on his thumb and the index finger, I don't know if that's because this is kind of new when I got the figure, and it exists on another hand, so I wasn't sure if it's a part of it. And they're inside a plastic tray too, so I don't know why it would have that. You can see there's a poster of some sort. It's made out of paper. He has a lot of like little trinkets, like those hair pieces. He got this dagger. Like I said, don't ask me about the history of all this stuff, because I'm not a big fan of the movie. There's the scope. It's not retractable or anything, or die cast, but it's some nice details on it. He has his sword. This one's plastic as well, so that's okay, so it doesn't put too much stress on the joints. A compass, that one kind of know the not origin, but what it did to the movie. So at least I know something in there. So if you haven't seen the movie, it's up to you. But as a figure, I can only comment as a figure. It's pretty great. It's a great figure. It's an iconic figure. It's been in so many Pirates of the Caribbean now, so I always wanted to have one. And the first version of this is in DX06, and that was a pretty nice version as well. It's holding its own up to now. I've seen like the previous pictures or the comparison videos to DX15, and it looks like it's still pretty good up like 5 years later, or 4 years later. So you can see the paint application of this guns are pretty cool. It looks like metallic with some rust on it. No, I didn't notice that looks like a person. I don't know if that's meant to be like that, but here you go. He got this one of these things. They go to his belt, which is a pain to put on. I mean, you could, which I did, but there's so many things going on in Jack Sparrow anyway. I don't know why they didn't just put it in there for us. But yeah, he got 2 bottles in here. One is a liquor, I believe, and this one is the Black Pearl that was kept in a bottle. Like I said, if you've seen the movie, you kind of know the history. But yeah, pretty nice details on this. I know they really do exist. This display, and I'm reminded I kind of want to buy one. When I was a kid, I always wondered how they put the boat inside a bottle, but yeah, I'm still wondering up to now. And moving on, he got his hat. So the hat is kind of pleather. You can see there's a bit of weathering on the cap, but it's snugly fit. You can fit it on his head right there. And the big piece is the stand. I believe most of what we paid for it came from the stand. And it's a beautiful stand. It's a diorama piece. The undead shark or dead shark, whatever you want to call him. It looks like a cannon with some piece of wood from an abandoned ship. They unleashed the shark to go to Jack. He escaped. But, it's a pretty exciting scene. It's pretty cool as well when they show the shark. So, overall, the stand is pretty awesome. This one, the flagpole, you can take it out. The flag is an actual fabric that you have to attach. So it would just, kind of drape by itself if it focuses. It has this symbol of the pirates. So here you go, the crossbones. And the stand itself, it takes up a lot of space though. That's one thing that I would say about it. And then it comes with this dynamic, flexible, clamp, I have a gazillion of those that I don't use because they're just a pain in the ass. So I got one from, I guess, General Zod, and it still fits. So I just put him there so I don't have to open the other one. The details are nice on this base. Like I said, you can see the shark with his teeth decaying. You can put something in his mouth. It's kind of hollow there. So it's pretty, like I said, even the waves, look at those waves, the way they sculpted it, it looks really, really nice. And the downside is it takes up a lot of space. Even the backside, there's a lot of details in it as well. You gotta strategically put Jack Sparrow in there because he's gonna be too tall for a detolf. So you could, but you need some racers, so you gotta raise the previous shelf on top of it. I put this in a different case, in a standalone case, because the figure is too nice. I think he needs to be by himself. And also I don't have any Pirates of the Caribbean in my collection. Actually, it's kind of off because most of my DC, Marvel, basketball and Lord of the Rings and him. Don't get me wrong, I got this on a trade from a good buddy of mine who's in collecting as well for another figure. He's not a part of the overall collection, but like I said, he's pretty iconic and it's pretty awesome. So I always wanted to have one in my collection, and there you go. Those are the trinkets, and they kind of explained this on the movie. When he became the first, not the first, but the captain. Some of the pirates gave him some gifts. So I believe that's how they got some of them. Don't quote me on this. Like I said, I could be mistaken. But as far as the figure, you get all those details on this belt. I believe he has 2 belts. He got this nice draping fabric as well, and it has a magnet to attach to his second belt. But the fabric that they use, the materials, it's I believe it's spot on. And a character like Jack Sparrow, there's a lot of things going on. So he's colorful, vibrant. He has this personality in him. So kind of like Deadpool, he would kind of stand out in your collection. And also the fact that he is just quality. When you think about this Jack Sparrow, you just think about quality of the figure, and it's pretty awesome. Comes with a lot of accessories. Most of them gets attached to the figure, and honestly, those 2 guns, you can insert them in his belt, the one that I showed you earlier. There's a Velcro on the back, so you don't need to take out the entire figure or kind of dismantle him, kind of like with Bane. I don't know if you remember Bane from the Dark Knight Rises. For him to get to a second outfit or put something on, you gotta remove the entire vest, which is a pain in the ass. But yeah, here you go. I'm just giving you different looks from him, and you can see all the buttons. There's a wire at the bottom of his coat as well, so you can kind of position it however you want. There's a lot of weathering on his coat. On his boots, it's pretty clean. But it's okay, you know. It is what it is. But I overall I like the figure. I really do, even though I do not like the movie. And one thing I can compare him to, because I didn't like the movie as well. I did like him in Infinity Wars though. Infinity War is Doctor Strange. I didn't like the movie, his standalone movie, but we all know the figure is just amazing. Amazing to a point that they're selling it for like $800 right now on eBay, which is crazy. And I almost sold mine for $200, you know, because I got it from Big Bad. And you know, it's like I liked it at first. It was a quality figure, just like this, you know, but I think this is a little bit better because there's a lot of mixed media into this figure. But I was like, you know what, I'm not digging the figures. I didn't dig the movie, but I was like, you know what, he's gonna be a part of a bigger picture, which is Infinity War. I was certain they're gonna make a new Doctor Strange, knowing Hot Toys, but you know, there were rumors that there was an interview with Howard Chan. He's saying that he's not gonna make all the characters, and people are assuming that he's one of them because he looks the same way, maybe like a different hair or so. So you know, we just assume, and so far they haven't announced, you know, the likes of Winter Soldier or Falcon, so rumors might be true. But I would give a nod to this one more than Doctor Strange because, you know, like, look at his hair. It's a combination of sculpted and you know, those rooted hair. And look at that, just look at the face sculpt, man. I mean, that's creepy. My wife was looking at when I was filming this, and you know, after editing it, and she was looking at my screen, and I was like, that is just creepy how you know, lifelike it is, and the eyes just have so much life in it with the, you know, the darker eyeshadow. And on top of that, it is purse. So for those of you who doesn't know purse, typically you would, I wouldn't say, is it typically? No, because typically you would only see that in a DX figure. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm basically right here, because I was thinking about Batman versus Superman. You know, he got, his eyes were not purse, but you can kind of replace it. The other one I believe is Hulk, which it has kind of a purse. But yeah, this is, you know, one of those figures where, you know, you can move the eyes around. And the good part too is that he does come with a second head sculpt, and I believe the second head sculpt is much more suitable for this guy, because, you know, like I said, the Jack Sparrow that we know is, you know, kind of like sarcastic and all that stuff. So this is the back of the figure. The bandana is sculpted. So like I said, there's a lot of mixed media going on here, and I think they just did it perfectly. You know, even I didn't even notice that now that I'm filming this. You know, there's like a long hair, like a long strand out there. And then his sheath for his sword, you know, there's a lot of small details, like intricate details for him, and it just looks really good. And even his dreadlocks, you can see there. It's yeah, this is a video, but if I'm taking a picture, I can make it look, you know, pretty decent there. You know, I just want to show you his dreadlocks right there. It is kind of curving, moving forward, so it rests nicely on his shoulders. So that's a good part right there. As you can see there, it's kind of like, you don't have to position it. You know, some figure, Legolas for example, it is curving, but in a weird way. You know, from Asmus. So this one is a bit more educated, I guess. You know, the way it curves around it, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, he's really, just a lot of things going on, even on his hair, that it's kind of like just hard to focus, but that's just how the character is. So I believe Hot Toys captured that perfectly. And if you want to put his hat on, you just slide it in. Honestly, he just, you know, put this in like this, and it's there. Looks pretty awesome. I like it. You know, like, look at that, like dead eye looking at me, all creepy and stuff. So pirate. And this is the second head sculpt, like I said. So this is, in my opinion, a bit better. I'm kind of worried about that, you know, beardo, because it's beardo. It sounds like a weirdo, but this is the purse. So this is kind of like a stick that you can control, so you can move the eyeballs around, which is pretty cool and creepy at the same time. But going back to those little beard, you know, they're rubber, and I don't know, just be careful, because it looks like it's gonna snap any second. Knowing Hot Toys, you know, their quality control, I mean, they're amazing when it comes to bringing life to a figure, but their quality control is always a suspect. But like I said, this head sculpt right here, especially looking, towards one side, is pretty awesome. I like this. I like this a lot because it brings out the character of Johnny Depp portraying Jack Sparrow. So you can put his hat on. This is actually what I'm gonna use moving forward. And yeah, look at that. I mean, if that's not awesome, I don't know what is. And surprisingly, DX06 kind of holds its own. I've seen comparison videos and pictures. So if you have DX06, would I recommend this figure? It's a hard call. I personally probably wouldn't. I never had DX06. One thing that DX06 has is this nice diorama of the it's like a steering for the ship. I believe that's what it comes with. Is it better or worse than which, if you ask me which one's better, I actually think that's better, but again, on this particular movie, he didn't do much of those towards the end of the movie, but he had this pretty cool interaction with the dead shark. So in this particular figure, that it is more applicable, if you got the sharks. This is him. I'm just gonna put him in a few poses before we wrap this thing up. Here he is, kind of being drunk, which he spends a whole lot of time on in the movie, holding a bottle. I don't know if the same bottle he traded for the compass. I've never really paid attention to that kind of bottle, but yeah, he does a lot of drinking, and brings out the character again for Jack Sparrow here. So you can there's no restrictions whatsoever as far as the movement is concerned when it comes to this figure, because even though he does have this coat, it's not form-fitting, or it's not hindering any movement whatsoever. So you could do whatever it is that you pleases. It's not tight or anything like that. One more pose that I want to put him in is kind of like more of a serious tone fighting. Had his sword drawn, and his dagger. I don't know if he looks menacing. I just can't picture. Again, I haven't seen all the movies, so maybe there's intense sword fighting in some movies. I only watched 2 movies so far, the first and the last one. But he just doesn't strike me as this badass pirate. He's more of a schemer, which it's pretty good for his character. But yeah, I mean, he does have a lot of sword fights, at least in this movie with the Deads. Yeah, you can bring this back here and turning around. Yeah, it's nice. It's just like every time that I try to move him around as well, I feel like I'm gonna break something, because there's a lot of things hanging or loose in his belt. Every time you take out a gun, you kind of have to readjust the Velcro in the back. But those are the options that you want for the 1/6 scale figure, and he has it all. And honestly, every time I buy a figure and it comes with a bunch of accessories, normally the accessories stays in my little compartment, and and then I normally occupy 2 compartments with the hands and the accessories. In him, it's only the hands. All of his accessories are in his belt, and most of them are just attached to him. I didn't put the compass you can put on his belt, but it's such a nice accessory, and you can tell a story. That's why I kept it outside, because once you put it on the belt, it's a bit harder to take out. And this is another look according to the manual. I don't remember him having this kind of look though in the movie. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it just didn't stick with me. But this is an alternate look where you can take off his coat, and he is in this nice intricate. You can clearly see his vest inside. There's a lot of things going on in his this white shirt of his. You can see all the stuffs that's in his belt, because when you have the coat on, you are kind of covering all those things that you just inserted. But without the coat, everything, you can see those little furry things in his side. I don't even know what that is. It also states on the manual that got to be careful for rubbing and paint transfers or whatever. But I don't know. But this look works as well. I am digging this look as well. So you never know. It depends on your mood, I guess. But by doing this, you exposes a lot of details that are vibrant and nice. Even his belt, look at that. Now you can clearly see all the things that's going on, so you can create, you know, some scenes from the movie. And I believe Pirates of the Caribbean, I forgot the name of the guy, he looks like an octopus, but he is going on for at one point he's going for a lot of money, because it's so rare that, you know, it was made maybe 6 years ago or 5 years ago or so, but recently a bootleg company kind of made one that looks exactly like that. I think they're going for like $150 or so, which honestly, if I was a big fan, I'd go for it. You know, I'm not, you know, so even at 150, I would never buy it. This is enough for me to represent the Pirates of the Caribbean to my collection. And I, as a matter of fact, I don't need anything to represent Pirates of the Caribbean to my collection. It's just a great figure that I just need to have it. You know, I felt the need to have it. It's a DX figure, and it comes with so much that, you know, even as a casual fan walks into your home or to my office, and, you know, notice him, they would know that he's Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean. And you know, that's one thing that, you know, like, that's one thing that Hot Toys is good at, because some of them they walk in, you got a Mezco figure, you know, if they're not a big comic book fan or something, they wouldn't guess that it's Old Man Logan, you know, for example. But Hot Toys, museum quality, but, you know, that's the price that we pay for. That's why they are double, triple, sometimes quadruple the price of, you know, a normal figure. And this piece right here is a prime example. I can call this a grail from the most part, you know, honestly, because it's so good. And this is it, guys. So Jack Sparrow DX15, you know, I'm giving him one quick turn here. Let's move up, and there he is in all his glory. Pretty awesome figure. So, you know, that's the flag. You can see the Sparrow right there, and it's shaking. There's a lot of movement in the ship. I don't know if the bendable thingy on the actual figure is shorter or as long as this, because you don't really need, he's not, you know, I mean, I guess you can make him jump or anything, but, you know, he doesn't fly. Those are for flying mostly. For the figures, kind of like Zod or Man of Steel or something like that. But yeah, you know, this is mostly gonna be my go-to pose for now, and I'm gonna put him on the something that I bought from Sideshow back in the day. It's the just look into my videos. They have this quarter scale base, which is perfect. You know, this is where I put him on. But would I recommend this figure? Absolutely, it's great. This is coming from somebody who, you know, who's not a big fan. I'm just a fan of figures in general, and I highly recommend this figure. It has tons of accessories, amazing head sculpt, not just head sculpt, 2 head sculpts with purse on it. The outfit is top notch. Tons of accessories. Like I said, I think I already mentioned that. Great base, everything in this figure, and the price is, I wouldn't even call it fair, because Gamora is, you know, it's only $20 less than Gamora, and you've seen Gamora, so I think it's a no-brainer. And, you know, if you're watching this video, head over to Big Bad Toy Store. Just pre-order this. It should be shipping soon. I can't recommend it enough. So thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. I have another review coming up, hopefully Anakin. If not, I'll probably do, you know, top 10 head sculpts, because I haven't done that in a while, or collection video. I don't know, just talk to me in the comments down below which one you would want to see next. I don't have Anakin yet, so that might have to wait for a little bit. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.